up, guys? We have a very special guest. I don't know how to. Can you say your name so I can pronounce it well and not make a fool of myself?
Etty.
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 Okay.
Hard P, hard consonant.
Yeah, okay, Etty. Sick. It's nice to meet you.
Mhm. Nice to meet
Uh,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is so random as well because we haven't been in like the midst of interviewing a lot of artists and trying to find inspired to like talk to artists the way we usually do. And your profile on SoundCloud came out to me, and your tape. I don't know if this is. We can talk about this too, but your body of work that you most recently put out on SoundCloud came out to me, and I was like, "Dang,
Oh
this is
yeah, the little
love this."
mini EP.
Yeah, exactly. What did you call it? Demoland?
Oh yeah, Demoland. Yeah, just a bunch of
Yeah.
demos. Like yeah,
Is that the most recent body of work that you've sort of released into the ether of the world?
yeah. That's definitely the most recent thing. I've only released like in terms of like bodies of work. I haven't. I'm very bad at releasing bodies of work like seriously. So I love to like
Yeah.
every few years drop something on SoundCloud, like an EP, SoundCloud EP of demos and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, cool. How would you describe your music? Like from your own words,
Um, for my own words, I feel like it's always hard to, I guess, describe my music, but I feel like I can always say like my influences, or I guess who I try to kind of, or I don't know if I'm trying, but who I hear myself that I like I'm obsessed with. But I'd say like recently I've been saying I feel like, and I don't like to be like, oh, I'm like this person. I'm like, you know what I mean? But I'd say like shoegazy, dream poppy,
yeah.
mixed with R&B. Like I always say, like if like Hope Sandoval and like Janet Jackson were coming
Mm.
together, that's kind of where I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to go and where I'm trying to go.
yeah.
But yeah, in that realm of things, yeah, both of those rock and R&B, just that combination.
Yeah. Do you listen to a lot of Erika De Casier?
I actually do. I actually do. I actually, when I found her, I was like, whoa! Like back in like 2018 or 2019, when I heard that Essentials album, I was like, whoa! Like
Yeah.
that was crazy to me. A little bit.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was something that came out. I was like, dang, I hate doing this thing where it's like you remind me of this or this reminds me of that. But it was more so like um maybe I could spot like an influence, I guess, or something that you like listen to or like is like played in your mind. I don't know. Is that like a fair assumption
of
to make?
of Erica.
So, like Erica being an influence for your music or
I feel
like
like she is. I feel like she was kind of like really. I feel like I remember when I first heard her stuff. I don't think I like go into my music being like I want to sound like Erika De Casier, but I remember when I first heard her in like 2019. Like I hadn't heard anyone. I don't know. I grew up in like all that 90s R&B and stuff like with my mom, and like
Mhm.
it always was like kind of like the vibe I was kind of in. But when I saw Erica like the album, I was like, whoa! Like this is like the first time I've like heard somebody like step back into that sound. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In that way, at least, in the way that she was doing it. And I'm super, I was like, whoa, you can do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't have to. I don't know what I was making before then, or really what, if it was too much different, but I remember
Yeah.
she was inspiring in the way I was like, whoa, like you can really, like, you take an inspiration. Like, I feel like we're at the point where, yeah, you can make it also new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What was some of your like first like moments like actually recording music like? Like what inspired you to like actually like for the first time be like, "Yo, I want to put this I want to put this I want to put this
Um,
out."
Let me think. The first time I ever recorded.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think it was I've been writing songs for a long time, like since I was younger, but I swear I just like did not understand the concept of like recording my own music. And I think it was probably freshman year of college, like 2017 or
Mhm.
2017 and like 2018, like that first semester of college, first and second. Like I remember I don't, what did I record? Something like crazy. I don't even know what I made, but it was like the first song I made was like kind of random. I remember I used to use my Apple earphones,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
like a little mic on them. But like the
yeah.
first song I put out was on SoundCloud actually called like I Just Want Somebody There. like bought this instrumental from somebody,
Hmm.
and I recorded the vocals over my or in my Apple earphones, and yeah, I was very happy with it. I feel like I was better at writing then than I am now. And then
I
I
know.
put it out, and I was like, whoa, like
Yeah,
whoa.
that's cool. Were you recording a lot during college? Like juggling school and recording? Like how was that for you?
I was recording like definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely more than now. I always say like college specifically. I feel like I was like constantly making music, constantly writing.
Yeah.
I'd say back in yeah in sophomore years when I got like my first like Akai Mini like
Mm,
keyboard
yeah.
is when I started producing. Like was like also 2018. Um, yeah, and I would just always just be doing that. Like it was like habitual. I'm trying to get
Did you
back
play
in
an
the habit.
instrument growing up?
What'd you say?
Did you play an instrument growing up?
I played like guitar and like just like in
Yeah.
high school I got a guitar. My freshman year of high school is when I started playing acoustic. Um,
Okay.
and then I played violin when I was younger. That was like one of the first things. But in high school I'd always be like playing guitar at like talent shows and stuff. But yeah, now
Oh,
I still play guitar.
okay, cool. Damn, that's interesting. What were some of the things that like in terms of was your household like a musical household? I know you mentioned like growing up listening to like 90s R&B was like
Yeah.
was your
It was
household like
definitely yeah, it was actually it was extremely musical. I feel like my parents were divorced, so like both of them they liked the same similar music, but they also had very different music tastes. Like my
yeah.
mom always playing music, like always had the music loud. We'd be on road trips. She had the music going, like the CDs were on. But it
Hmm.
was always like 80s, late 80s, 90s R&B, like Troop. You know what I mean? Like all I do is think
Oh
of you. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like and like
Yeah.
Babyface and New
Yeah.
Edition.
Need
Like
a
that was
baby
my
type
mom.
shit?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like and Aaliyah and Sade and all that and Chaka Khan. And then my dad also like loved those people, but he would always be listening to like Sinatra and Doris Day and
Whoa.
like yeah and like just a lot of jazz and Tony Bennett and you know all those people and what's her name
Tony Bennett's crazy. Damn, that's
Tony
some
Bennett's crazy.
it's crazy.
Hmm. My dad took me to see him like probably like 7 years ago. I was like I changed my age.
Whoa, damn.
Um, but yeah, so my dad always had that jazz. Like my dad loves like the 20s, 30s. I don't know if that was 20s, maybe it was the 40s. I don't know. Whenever like jazz was starting, like Ella Fitzgerald kind of
Yeah.
era, and then my mom was the other side. So I feel like those are. They were just my. There was always music playing in the house, like
Oh,
so. I
sick.
feel like it was, yeah,
What made you decide to, because you grew up in Atlanta, right?
yeah. You're from Atlanta.
What made you want to go all the way to San Diego?
Well, my dad's from LA.
Oh,
Um,
word.
so he is an LA guy, and
Yeah.
I thought that San Diego was like LA.
Yeah.
And it is not
Rookie
the same.
mistake. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
my dad warned me. He's like, it's not the same, and I was like, no, but it's the same.
Yeah. They
Um,
say San Diego's a little racist vibes though.
it
Is
does
that
have a racist vibe there. I've never experienced that. Like, I was
yeah.
experiencing racism in Atlanta, but I mean, not even. I wouldn't say like I experienced anything like what I experienced when I came to San Diego. It's like that was like one of the first times where I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
it was hard those 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved. I finally made it to LA. Like I always wanted to come to LA, but yeah,
Mhm.
It was delayed for a
Were you able
bit.
to go to LA with like people?
No, I moved out, or actually, I did move here with people. Actually, I moved with well, one of my best friends. Like we all kind of knew we wanted to go to LA because we all kind of like the same, want the same things. Like
Yeah.
and so I moved out here with like two of my best friends. Like, or they moved around the same time as me. But I just moved in with like a random person that I met once, and then we ended up becoming like best friends. So
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
What do you perform at all in LA? Like, do you like are you like performing live at all? Like, do you ever like are able to like connect with people who are weirdly attached to this music industry or whatever the fuck you want?
Yes, I'm always. I swear, I'm like always performing. Like whatever someone's like has a show, I'm like, yes, I'll take the show. Like
Yeah,
I feel like I perform now more than like release. I feel like I'm like a performing artist more, which is I'm not trying to be, but I feel like I tend to be like spending more time performing recently,
yeah,
at least.
yeah.
Years.
I kind of get that vibe too because it's hard. I don't. You don't put a lot of stuff out, to be honest. Like, I think
Mhm.
it's like pretty sparse and like you're a fan of the singles.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
love a
like
good single. I love a good
yeah,
single.
it
Yeah.
makes no sense. Why what's so like not challenging, but what's sort of
Mm.
like not sort of the easiest thing to do is like why not like put out a project? You know what I mean? Or why not
I
be like
know this is the question. This is the greatest question. This is literally like constant battle I've had for like literally like 4 years. I was just thinking about that today. Like I was like, oh my god, like I just always feel like the time is running out. Like as I'm getting older, but like
yeah.
um, I feel like I don't know. Like I always have like these like big ideas, and I can be like a big picture person, and I'll like create this whole vision for an EP. Like every year, I'm like, oh, I need to
Hmm.
scrap what I had, and I need to start over. And then like I'm
Yeah.
like have a new thing, and then I'm like I wear it out on my own. You know what I mean? I listen to it over and over and over, and then I'm just like over it, and I'm like I don't know. I feel like I realized recently I realized like that like I guess being a musician is like about trusting yourself. You know what I mean? Like and trusting that whatever you put out is like what you put out and that's it. You know what I mean? Like trusting
For sure.
that you know what I mean? And I feel like I used to trust myself more for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Um when I lived in San Diego and like when I was in Atlanta, but I guess I don't know. I guess coming to the industry I'm like learning about it. I feel like I didn't even know the industry
Yeah.
was the way it is before. Like until I came here I was like, whoa, like you actually can make a living off music, you can actually release projects. Like so the
Yeah.
past 2 years I've just been kinda like I don't know, I guess I've been scared. I guess it's the truth. Like but
No, I feel yeah.
I've been scared, but I've been trying to talk to like people and shopping like the project around because there's like a project that I've had sitting in the Untitled app for like probably 7 months, and I'm like I send it around, like, release, release, release. But I feel like also another thing that stops me is uh sorry if I'm talking too much. I mean, this is
No, no, that's literally an interview. So like, like
okay.
how it's supposed to be.
Okay, cool. Another thing that stops me, I feel like, is I can be like very picky with my mixing. Like I want a very specific sound and I feel like I haven't quite met the person my what is the person I've always heard like not creative partner, but I don't know like I don't know what it's called,
Your
but
muse of sorts, like
you know what or it's like, you know what I mean, to someone who gets the vibe like in that way.
yeah.
And so I'll
So like
send
it's
my
hard to find an engineer who gets your vibe. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, like because like I like my stuff to be like cocktail twins. Like I don't you don't necessarily need to know what I'm saying in my new stuff. Like obviously I would like clear vocals. I don't want to be what is it called get demoitis as I've heard some people say. 'Cause I feel like I have demoitis. Or I'm like I
Yeah,
like but I'm like I like how it how my like when I send a mix, I've sent a few mixes out of the project, and it's like I'll get it back, and it's like really clean. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And people have a really technical minds. I feel like people tend to, I guess, engineers because it's technical. But I've been like trying to like shop my stuff around with like people who are kind of sending stuff to try to find like someone who can
When you
technically
say shop it around, what do you mean by like that?
like
Just
sending
yeah,
it like around like the untitled link around, kind of like I'll send it to certain people and like people I'm kind of know in the industry, and they'll like send it to engineers they know or instrumentalists, you know what I mean, or just people to hear what they think, you know what I mean. And
yeah,
sometimes they get back to me, and sometimes I'll find a mixer, and I'm like, okay, can you mix this? And then they it's really clean, and I don't love the clean sound in my music, at least recently.
yeah,
So yeah, once I'm really I need to find I need to try harder to find the mixer, but the mix is a big thing, like one of the main things. I guess I'm insecure about it.
yeah. So do you prefer your shit sounding like more raw than sort of like polished? Like in terms of just like the like I don't know. I think that's for me as like a music fan. This is why I'll always like gravitate towards like music discovery on SoundCloud because I just like I prefer something raw to something like more like
Yeah,
that makes sense. Is that sort of like where you're at in your career where you're like I'm still liking the stuff that I produce that's just like who I am itself and not something that's like you know what I mean?
yeah. Like I feel like it's yeah. I definitely feel that. I also love like the raw music. Like, I don't like I just have for me personally. I've never would love like a clean sound. Like I don't. I
Yeah.
like it to sound raw. Like even when I was younger, and there's a lot of unintentional things that like in all artists do. You know what I mean? Like in their art, where it's like Bob Ross said, like a happy accident.
Yeah.
Even like my old demos, a lot of demos on SoundCloud, you can like hear me like pressing the space bar on my computer, like when I'm recording the vocal. And
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
know it was in there and I could have taken it out, but I just liked it in there. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've always liked my music to sound like I recorded this. Like you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
I did this. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't need to all be me, but or whatever. Like I don't like I need to be but yeah, I just like I like the unclean sound. I like to be like a little bit like off.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
How do you record? Like, what sort of, do you have like a specific ritual when you record? Like, is this stuff that you need to have? Like, and like, what do you use to record as well?
Is there a ritual? No, I need a ritual. I've been so bad with recording lately.
Yeah,
But my stuff I use, I'm like, okay, actually I'm sitting right here next to my stuff.
yeah,
I use, unfortunately, a blue mic,
sick.
literally the podcast mic.
It's
That
sick.
someone got me. My friend got it for me like 4 years ago. He believed in me.
Yeah,
And I need to get a new mic. I've been wanting to get the what's it called SMB7, so that should be coming soon. What else do I use? Oh yeah, just the um. I'm like looking at my stuff right now. Um, UT 770 Pro earphones, yes.
sick, sick. Yeah,
um, and
essential.
then I have like my two JBL monitors, my Scarlett. But in terms of
Yeah,
ritual, no. I kind of sometimes I just like sit and I don't know. So I feel like I do my best music when I start with guitar or like
yeah.
a drum. So, but recently I've just been like sitting down with like the metronome, like just kind of
Mhm.
like. Oh, and in terms of like the DAW I use, GarageBand.
Wow. Yeah, I
And
fuck with.
someone finally, my friend downloaded Logic onto my computer a few months ago, like forced me. And I like use that. I use that too recently. Like I'm using it more because it's nice to have more things, and I think I need to
For sure.
expand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I've just been using GarageBand. I feel like the music I make is not too much. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not crazy, I guess.
That makes sense. That's so funny. They're like trying to get you out of garage. Like, do you think they're like trying to get you out of GarageBand? Or do you think they're trying to get you out of like um a space where they're like, yeah, how do you like how do the people in your like music community feel about your take on like your raw sense of like the music that you like? You know what I mean? Or presenting it in a
Yeah,
raw way. Like, do they enjoy that? Do you get like positive feedback from people that are
I
in
feel
sort of
like that's a
your
good
circle?
question. I feel like with people who are music enjoyers for the most part and just casual music people, I feel like I've always had better experiences with it. They're like, this is different, you know what I mean? But I feel like, and there's a lot of people who also react well. I feel like everything I have out is pretty more polished than the stuff that I'm currently
Yeah,
working on.
for sure.
Um, but the stuff that I show like now, like demos that are like the ones that are more like out there or SoundCloud, like I feel like people will be like, but we want to hear what you're saying. We want to hear your voice. And I'm like, but no, like I'm like, y'all don't get
Yeah,
it. Like, but like, because I guess it's more technical thinking, and I understand that. So I'm trying to like not be such a so like obsessed with how I want things because I feel like there is truth like in what they're
yeah,
saying, but I feel like some people can kind of I guess in the industry, I guess in LA, I've noticed people are just really technical with like their ear out here, like just people in the industry, I guess. So
yeah,
yeah, I feel like it's not a bad reaction, but yeah, I think people can get serious about that mix. And you know, people are paying like $700, $500 out here. Some of my friends like for mixes, and I'm
yeah.
like, whoa, like you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah. That is,
like,
yeah, this, yeah, that is like a different, that is a different vibe. I guess that leads to my next question where it's like, how do you interact? I think being an underground artist and being an artist who like mostly puts stuff out in singles and like is mostly on SoundCloud, how do you interact with like the music business as a whole? You know what I mean?
um,
Like, are you able to see some guap at all?
no, well, I feel like I like get money like from like shows, you know what I
Mm.
mean? But like,
Yeah.
and I've seen like I went to my DistroKid like a few months ago, and I didn't realize like I had some money in there. It wasn't like the
Oh,
most,
so,
but it was like the past like 4 years. I was like, whoa, like it was a good
yeah.
little like piece of money. I was like, okay, that's the first like time I cashed out on music. I was like, okay.
Okay, so
Um, but in terms of like money making, I'm trying to figure out like how to
or in
become
like
a
the music business in general with like labels reaching out or people from, you know what I mean, these similar places like reaching out to you, like is that like sort of stuff that happens on the regular for you?
yeah, I'd say like I've had like I feel like I'm always like just like randomly getting connected with like random musicians or you know what I mean? And then like
Yeah,
I feel like I don't have that much out, but I feel like I'm blessed that some people decide for whatever reason that they believe in me.
for sure. Yeah,
And so yeah, I had what is it called?
Yeah,
One
you
label
can
that
name
I
drop
really
here as well. You can name drop here.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll say that. One label that I love. It's not like a giant label, but I think it's an amazing label.
Yeah.
Is Scenic Route. You know Scenic Route. Scenic Route.
Scenic
They're
Route. Okay,
based
yeah,
out of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
London. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
based out of London, and one of my friends who's with them kind of sent my stuff, and he's like, "I just believe in you, blah blah. They're a really great starter label. You know what I mean? Like, or
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like, they're just an amazing label, and if you're getting started in the music business, they want you to uh they want to help you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I kind of been like in chats with them, and it's nothing about anything about signing yet. I think because I'm still getting my projects out, but like
Hmm.
definitely there's some people that help me, and like that stuff like that is like very inspiring to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I
Yeah.
love yeah, and I've noticed that like a lot of like labels that are like outside of LA or in London or in whatever like tend to be like really looking for the type of music I make. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like it tends to be people from New York and also from Atlanta or like London that it's like
Yeah.
resonating more than I guess
More
than
than
in LA. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because I did see that you were on like a Scenic Route like sort of album.
Yeah.
Uh, when did that come out, and how did you get on it?
That came out I think in June of oh yeah, it was last year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That came through because Theo, the like owner of the label of Scenic Route, just like reached out to me because I was like kind of in talks with him the past year and a half or so, and Theo hit me up and was like, "We're making the second compilation. Like, do you
Yeah.
wanna be on it?" And I was like, "Of course." And so I sent like four of my demos to him or four songs, and then he like liked the one I put on there, "This Town." Um,
Oh, no.
and yeah, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then it was on there, and then I got it mixed and mastered by my friend Kwame. Shout out Kwame Adu. He
Sorry.
mixed it for me, and then I sent it through. Um, but yeah, it was really nice. I was very happy to be on that on that label compilation. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, there's a bunch of people that I really like and admire too. So
There is a bunch of people I like on that label as
mhm.
well. Is Tony Montana on that label as well?
I think he is. I think he is.
Because I
I'm
think he
not
was on.
honestly sure. What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I think he was on. I think he might have had a song on that album or the
Yeah, he
compilation.
was on the compilation album. I know
Yeah.
that there's a lot of people because I'm like I'm not with them like signed by them, but I know
Yeah.
that they like just have like kind of like a circuit of people that they like musically.
Were they
Um,
trying to sign you at all at some point? Ever?
Not as of yet, but I feel like it's because I what is it called? I feel like I need to build trust. Like I feel like they're waiting on the project. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone is waiting on the project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel you.
but
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I wish you the best on that, to be honest
Thank
with you.
you. Literally, I'm like,
It's like a process. You can't be like, yeah, I'll give you the album without sort of like, I don't know, feeling like sure about it, you know?
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
overthink that project, but it's gonna come through.
So I was reading something about you,
So
from an
interesting.
article a while ago. And wait, so were you a Vine star?
That's hilarious.
Were
Yes.
you a Vine star? Could you
Yes.
talk about
That's
internet
hilarious.
fame? I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
Were you a Vine star? Can you talk about your internet like celebrityism a little bit?
When I was younger, it was in high school actually. Yeah, yeah, it was like obviously high school.
Yeah.
Maybe like end of eighth grade, could have been ninth grade. But I just remember like I started posting on Vine.
Hmm.
Um, and uh, yeah, I was just posting, and then I made this one video about this bagel. I don't even repeat that Vine.
What?
I'm not even gonna repeat what I said in that line. It was just about it was just like me saying bagel in a funny way.
Why do we call it bagel when it's actually bajou? Like, bajou. Bagel, bajou.
Yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
and then like I guess it just popped off like that for like some random reason. And then I feel like that was like the first time I got because I feel like I was always on the internet a lot as a kid. Like I've always been
Mhm.
like into that internet and like the internet scene.
For
Because
sure.
before then there was Gift Boom. I don't know if you ever heard of Gift Boom. That was like
No,
before
what
Vine.
was Gift Boom? I might have been a little too old for that.
It was like gifts. If you remember the GIF era, it was like gifts.
Oh wait, yeah. Okay, wait, no, sorry.
Yeah, it was like literally Vine and TikTok, but
Yeah,
it was gifts. But
yeah,
I got like everyone was on there. Everyone that you can even think of, like it's still in the industry today. Like
yeah,
Jay Versace, like was up on Gift Boom.
yeah,
Like trying to think of everybody else, like everyone you can think of. That was just the main person I thought of. But then everyone transitioned to Vine, and then Vine was popping off, and I was loving that vibe. Um, and then they deleted Vine. I wish I could have. I wish I was like smart enough at the time to
yeah. I mean, how old were you at the time?
I was like 16, I guess, when they stopped it. So I was like 14, 15. And
Oh yeah,
a
okay,
lot of other people were like, "Oh, I'm going to take this audience and move it here." But I feel like I just have that common thing. Someone I saw from Vine actually came up to me like a year ago and was like, they were like, I feel like the difference between me and them, because they were really successful on Vine and they're still very successful. But
yeah,
they were like, the difference between me and you is I feel like you are just doing things because you can do them and you just like to do things, and then like I feel like they were like really doing it, committed. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I kind of approach a lot of art, which I need to
yeah,
stop that because I'm trying to have art as a job.
yeah.
But
I'm gonna ask you, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you beat yourself up a little bit, or do you like, are you trying to like change in certain, like, how do you handle that yourself in terms of like
you
trying
know,
to make a change?
I feel the same way, kind of like, but that's just how I am. Like I tend to like be really hyper fixated on something. Like it's like
Yeah,
literally neurodivergent realness. Like I genuinely will become obsessed with something and like do it every day for like years or however much, and then that's kind of just like how it goes, and then I'll kind of get obsessed with something else. Um, uh, and I guess like I just feel like I'm an artist in general, but I guess sometimes I do beat myself up because I'm like I feel like people are losing faith in me. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm
yeah.
a musician. I love making music, and I'm also working on music. But like even lately, I've been like making a lot of like visual art,
Oh, cool.
which
Like
is
what
really
type?
fun. Like, what'd you say?
Like what type of visual art?
Oh, it's like graphic art. Like I'll take like
What's
just
that?
like pictures and graphics and make them like almost it started off as pictures, but now they're like animations that I've
Oh,
been making. And I'm just obsessed with it right now. I'm obsessed, but that's kind of just how I operate. But I'm trying to be more serious about like also things because and still enjoy things. But I think if something I'll take more seriously, like in that way, will be music. You know what I mean? Like and
yeah.
that's yeah, yeah.
Do you have like a dream? Like, how do you feel about collaborations in the first place? Like, how do you like feel about like actually like working with other people in music? Do you like it? Like, is it like a solitary experience for you?
Yeah, I feel like music has been a solitary experience, and like that's been fine. But I feel like I need to branch out. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I've been like kind of too solitary. But I am like an opinionated person.
Mhm.
And I do like things the way I like them.
Yeah,
So sometimes collaborations can be awkward to me, and also not awkward, but I feel like a lot of people, and there's no, I'm like, if anyone's watching this, I am not against collaborations, but a lot of
yeah,
people want to have a studio session, like before, like you hang out with them, which is cool, but it's like I feel like it's really hard for me to collaborate with someone I don't know.
yeah,
So yeah, I've been trying to like develop deeper relationships with musicians, and then we create something. Because in the
yeah.
past, I've
Is that easy to do in LA?
it's like
Like, is that like is because I feel like everything I hear about LA, and like I'm from someone who I'm like from the West Coast. I'm from Portland,
mhm,
Oregon. So like I'm familiar with like West Coast isms, but I feel like
mhm.
LA is like kind of a very unique, superficial place, more
Yeah,
so
it
than
is. Yeah,
something in New York. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
is it hard to like? Are you able to like meet friends and like, you know what I mean? In terms of like
Mhm.
that part of collaborating, is it hard to do?
Yeah, I feel like it can be hard because I feel like I don't know. I guess it's like I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I feel like it's easy. Like even tomorrow, I actually set up like a hangout with like this girl who makes. I love her music, and we're gonna hang
Yeah,
out with musicians. I don't usually. I feel like hang out with that many musicians, so that's one of like the first times I'm like, okay, like we're hanging out. We're both musicians, and it's not come to my studio. I'll come to your studio. You know what I mean? Like we're actually. Um, but yeah, I feel like here, like people can be. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess so. And people will say like LA is not. I don't want to call LA all the way superficial, but I think I don't know. It's really industry heavy out here, and yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, people will want to make music with you, blah blah blah, do whatever it is, like what is it called, like a photo shoot or a I don't know, just anything like rather than just hang out, like you know what I mean, like
yeah,
be like
yeah.
can we
You have
hang
to like
out, like
call it something.
yeah, like you know what I mean, like I feel like whenever I hang out with someone new, there's like we're doing something that like benefits not all the time, but like you know what I mean, like it's just hard. Like I feel like it's never like let's go to the movies or like go to the park. Like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
more like collab. When are you free? Okay, my studio. And then like the session happens and I'm like, okay, that was fun, but I don't know you, so I felt really awkward the whole time. And
for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
um,
But there's a lot of people out here also on the other side, like I've never been in a place where it's more it's like more accessible. Like that stops me from
yeah,
moving yet. So I'm like everyone is so accessible here.
yeah,
Like we just like, meet a bunch of people. In terms of what you do with meeting them is like I guess I'm seeing.
yeah. Do you have a car out in LA?
Yeah. I have a
Okay.
nice old SUV.
Oh, sick, sick, nice.
Yes.
Um, have you spent time in other like? I guess this is also I'm curious about like how does these communities differ from like a community in like San Diego when you're feeling like super inspired or like even back home in Atlanta? Like, do you see like collaboration working the same way regardless of where you're at?
No. I'd say I think there's a lot of collaboration on here. I have some people I know that are like collabing like and they're starting groups and they kind of have their collectives and you know what I mean scenes. I think the biggest scenes I see and like most collaborative community music wise I see is in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Like everyone in that like sphere, everyone knows each other out here too. But whenever I like look at the shows in Atlanta, like of just people I know and friends, like it'll be like a show of everyone in that sphere. Like you know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
don't know, it's just different. And I guess I'd say the same for New York also. Maybe I'm just not. I don't know. I guess LA is not a bad place. I hate to be an LA hater, but
No, I don't get that
yeah.
you're an LA hater. It's not really coming
Okay,
across.
okay, okay. I'm like
Yeah.
sometimes I can be, but
I mean,
it,
yeah,
it
give me a hot take about LA though. Give me like a hot take
like a hot
because
take
you're
about
not like
LA.
you're not hating on LA. I feel like now I might ask you to hate on LA right now, but like, what is
I
like
just
a
feel
hot
like
take?
I feel like
It can be negative as well.
um it's just I don't know. I've been honestly like I'm here right now and I'm trying to be like tell myself over and over like because I am doing what I came here to do. I do shows, I make music, I meet people,
For sure,
like, but I don't feel like I'm like doing like the project. You know what I mean? See where it goes, see where it takes you, meet these people, meet these labels, like kind of LA, like fully stepping into like musicianship.
yeah.
But at the same time, like I keep telling myself, I'm like, I don't know if I should leave here because I've been thinking about New York um, a lot recently. Like, I just feel like my music makes sense there, and like I really like the musicians there and just kind of the scene over there.
I
But I
can't
think
I can't lie that I also would agree with that as well.
yeah, like I feel like I'm supposed to like you know what I mean. Like I just give New York, so but I'm like I can't leave here without trying. But I'm like part of me
Yeah,
feels like while I'm out here, I'm low key like not as inspired for whatever reason.
for
I don't
sure,
know. It's weird. Maybe it's just 'cause I've been in California like so long that I need
for sure.
something new. I feel like I was like putting out music, making music, quick, 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 like before, like just like it was so effortless. But I feel like I don't know. Out here, I just feel like I don't know. I'm really inspired by like nature also, which New York isn't the most nature place ever, but just like
It's
the
around
scenery.
nature spots like the
You know
East
what I
Coast.
mean? Like Central Park, like there's no parks out here like that. Like I don't know. I just
Yeah,
love the East Coast, and I miss like black people. So.
yeah,
So
for
I'd
sure.
say, yeah, that's like one of the main things. So yeah, LA is like if people love LA. Look, I'm like stay out here. It's really beautiful. It's an amazing place. I'm so grateful to live here, but I don't know if it's like my perfect music city. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When you say you're not trying, at least from the outside looking in, it seems like you're doing shows. Like, do live performances not do it for you in the way that like makes you feel like a musician? You know what I mean? That's like doing their thing right now in their
I guess
respective.
it's true. I can't feel like I can be like what is it called like hard on myself. I never think I am, but then I'm like oh, but I don't know. I guess I love performing. I love doing shows, but I guess it's like the fully like, committing, like, and like having that trust, you know what I mean, and being like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop this, and you know what I mean, just like the vibe of them. But yeah, I feel like I'm like whenever I text my cousin who's my roommate, she's like,
Yeah.
"Girl, what are you talking about? Like, well, you doing this with this and that?" And I'm like, "No, but like if I really tried, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel
Yeah.
like I try, but I feel like there's a part of me that could try more. You know what I mean? Like,
For
and
sure. What
I
do you
don't know.
mean
I
try
don't,
more? What do you mean try more? Like
I
if
don't know.
you
I'm trying to figure out if that's me, if I'm that type of person. But like, I don't know. I'm like always like, oh, today is a perfect, beautiful, sunny day. I could take a demo of mine and my guitar and record a little video for like an Instagram reel or TikTok or
yeah,
something. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But then I'm
yeah,
like, the day passes and I'm just like, I want to do that. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
also do want to do that. But I
For
just
sure.
like am gonna be not disciplined. But then I just think about I don't know. I just feel like I'm at this point now where I'm like 25 and I'm like, I mean, it's either
You're
I
29?
25.
Okay, all right. Okay.
No, I'm
It's like
25.
okay, wait, that makes more sense.
Really crazy. I'm like 4 years.
Yeah, but
But
also you would be fine as well having these problems at 29 as well. So
literally. But at
yeah,
25, I feel like I'm at this point where I'm like, oh, like I have to like really make this money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've been torn because I also am good at like social media and I've done social media jobs in the past. And I'm not saying that you can't work a normal job because I work a normal job. I'm a teacher, a substitute teacher right
yeah,
now. But
yeah,
I'm like, whoa, you can make money off music. I have a bunch of friends that are making money off music. You know what I mean? Or their art. And I'm like, if I want to do that, I have to like do these things that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
unfortunately. So
What
yeah,
inspired to at least put out the demo tape like that on SoundCloud?
it
Like
was like
intro
it was
your body work. Yeah. What made you put it out? The way you feel
it
about
was
body
like
work.
what is it called? Like exposure therapy almost. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna literally expose myself and just release something and let people hear it and not put so much pressure on it. Like, and I think I always use SoundCloud, but I guess I haven't used it as much. But one of my friends, Demier, was like, just put it on SoundCloud. Like, just put a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff on SoundCloud. And I was like, literally, and I'm like, I don't want those songs specifically, maybe, but like on like a lot of streaming, like they're kind of more demos that I just had for a minute.
For
So I
sure.
was like, let me just put that out, and I love SoundCloud. Like, I just love SoundCloud. Honestly, I was like, let me put that out, Demoland, and I like that they can just be demos. Like, there's not so much pressure of the perfect mix, and I don't know,
Yeah.
just too much.
That makes sense. Who, as in, like, are there people that you look at right now that you'd want to make music with? Are there like dream people that you're like, oh, from afar that you like what they're doing, and they're like, oh, I would, you know what I mean? Like, this would
Ooh,
be
that's such a good question.
a nation.
Um, make music with them or just collab with them in any way?
And both. You can mention
Okay,
like both.
I'd say someone, I'd say Marcus, from Nourished by Time. I'm like, Marcus, if you were watching this, I need a collab quick.
What's his name?
um,
Marcus.
Marcus from Nourished by Time.
Oh, oh, okay, bad.
Because he's very similar to like I feel like we just have a similar style of music. Like we both like the late '80s and early '90s, and like also like rock and just want to experiment as Black artists, but still
Yeah,
not like completely stray and pay. What was it called? Homage. I don't know how to say,
I know what you
to
mean. Yeah.
yeah to like our like what we grew up with. Another person I'd say is what's her name? Uh, she sings that song. Oh my god. Can I check my phone real quick? Is that
Yeah,
bad?
yeah, no, yeah. Go ahead. Do a little research. Fuck it.
See, I don't necessarily think. Sometimes I hear people similar to me, and I'm like, I don't know if we make music. Oh yeah, Freak Slug. You know Freak Slug?
Oh,
Like, I feel like
that.
you know what I mean? Like, I like her style, and I always am like, wait, oh my god, I wish I could open for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
Another
fuck.
person, literally, because lately I've been in this new sphere of music where I'm like, whoa, like I want to do my same thing, but I want to be like Karen Carpenter, like you
Mm,
know what I mean? Like I really am obsessed with like I really want to step into like my dad's side of the music.
yeah,
And still the blend, but I would love also I was thinking of like Tennis recently. You know Tennis, the band?
yeah,
Yeah, I would love to open for them or something like that, or like collab with them or be in their space. But those are like the main people. They're all just people who I feel like are really similar to me.
damn. Okay, interesting. That's kind of dope that you like people that are similar to you. Usually, people, I guess, when we talk to artists and there's like some vague sense of similarity, people are just like, yeah, no, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're like, no. I'm like, no. I want the people similar. They get the vibe. They get my vibes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. That's kind of cool. I mean, I've also been kind of on a similar wave as your stuff like your dad, because I've been
yeah.
really into bluegrass recently. I've been on my
Okay.
country shit recently, and that shit
Okay,
is
country.
yeah, no facts. Like that shit is hard. I like love listening to that. Is
I
there
like
like
country too.
yeah, is there like off genres that you sort of have fixate on a little bit, like things that people wouldn't sort of put that in the box with you? You know what I mean?
Things people wouldn't put in the box of me. Um, I'd say hmm, off genres. I feel like I'd be posting everything. Maybe I'll think.
Like
Okay, I'd say something when I was a kid was a lot of If you know the band Say Anything,
no.
they're like this like I don't know how to explain them. They're like punk-ish. I don't know how to explain them, but like they're like almost as similar as Hello Goodbye. If you know that band,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
they're gonna like weird time and like I really love like a good like emo-ish vibe, which is not that. Which I feel like when it's like emo in a certain way, sad. Like it's not like emo rock. It's not weird to
yeah.
people, but like this certain genre, very specifically, it's hard to describe. It's like very like
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It's like, but I really do love that type of music. Like, and
Do you?
lately I've been listening to a lot of that actually.
Oh, that's super cool. That's actually pretty bad.
I'm trying to
I'm
think. I
dead.
don't think there's anything else. I'm not like the biggest metal fan at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. What
I
are you
like
listening to
metal.
recently? Like, what do you actually listen to now?
Recently I've been listening to, like I said, a lot of like the Carpenters and
Yeah.
what's his name? The guy that sings, Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Okay. Cool.
Um, I've been listening to a lot of like Nina Simone and Dionne Warwick. I've been listening to
Okay.
a lot of old stuff and also a lot of like Lejadu sisters. I've been back on my Lejadu sister era.
Nice.
Um, uh, what else have I been listening to? Oh yeah, a lot of Mike. Um,
Nice. Yeah.
and yeah.
Because obviously I'm doing a little research on you in general, and a lot of these New York artists follow you. A lot of these New York artists like know of you. How do you feel about like when people sort of like I don't know what your relationship is in general, but like how do you feel when you get like co-signed by people in like the industry that maybe you have respect for? I don't know how you feel about like Mike or anyone else, but like how does that feel?
It feels amazing. I'm like, wow. Like, I'm like, but then the pressure is on. I don't know. I have like the weirdest inverse relationship with it. Like, um, but no, it feels really nice. Like, I'm just like, okay. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, okay. Like, that's all I can really say. It's like,
That's so
okay.
sick.
I would say I'm thankful.
Yeah. Do you care about social media at all? Like what's your
Yeah,
relationship?
actually, I do care about social media. I won't lie.
In
But
what
like,
way?
not in like in what way? I care about. I feel like I care about. I've always been on social media, so I feel like I've always just loved like Instagram, like in general, just for my own vibe. Like I love
Yeah.
creating a vibe and an avatar, as one of my friends said that
Sick.
always gives me advice about like the music industry and stuff. And I'm like, I love creating an avatar. I feel like it helps me translate the vibe, the musical vibe. You know what I mean? Like, and any
For sure.
time where I'm like, okay. So lately, I feel like I'm on a new avatar. I've been on a new avatar like the past year, where
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I need to translate this vibe of mine outwards, you know what I mean? So I can also stand as a person. And I'm not like trying so hard to like um get signed by a label. It's not like my big goal. Would I mind it? No. Um or at least a small indie label like Scenic Route or something. But I feel like a lot of like labels and stuff and just people in general, they want to see someone who has their own vibe already. You know what I mean? They don't want to have to teach someone to have a vibe. You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah.
like I have a strong presence, so I always like I guess want to make that known in whatever way. And I'm like a pretty shy person, so I'm like not that my Instagram speaks for me, but I'm like sometimes I'm like yes, I am
Yeah,
pretty
let
shy.
it be an extension that you've created
But
for yourself.
yeah, but not
Yeah.
really too much about like followers or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, then speaking about your goals, like what I guess we can sort of like end on like this note. Like what are like some of your bigger goals for this coming year? Do you have stuff that you want people to look out for? And in general, like
Um,
what are you looking forward to in like the near future with your career?
Something I'm looking forward to. Okay. Okay, I want to get this project out. I want
Yeah.
that project out so bad. I would love people to enjoy the project. They can
Do you
do
have a
whatever they
title
want
for
with
it at
it.
all, or is it still a work in progress?
I keep choosing different titles.
Shit.
The current one, I don't know if I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
Is it bad if I expose it? I don't know. Is it bad?
Say it. Fuck it.
It's called. Well, I don't know if I'm going to keep this name, but it's called Swan Dive as of now. The
Oh,
current
I
one.
love that name.
Thank you, because it's like taking a
Yeah.
risk. But there is one song by I forgot her name. I actually love her music, but it's called Swan Dive, and it's like taking over the whole thing. Every time a Swan Dive, I was like, girl, and I'm not trying to care that much, but I'm like, I kind of want something that like is the only thing that pops up, and I feel like I'm really
Yeah.
good at creating names. I have another title. It was also the title of my EP. It was called When God is in the Building.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
not like I'm not a Christian or anything, not like fully
Hmm.
Christian bad. But there's this, I love gospel, and there's this gospel album, by, what's their name? The Pace Sisters, United Pace Sisters, I think.
Okay, I bet.
And they have a song on that album, called When God is in the Building. And something about that name was crazy to me, and that was the title of this EP from the jump, and I told multiple people. But then some of the songs on it, I was like, I don't know, like if this is like blasphemy. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I kind of want that project to be more like soulful,
Yeah.
sweet, like almost like when I get to my Carpenters vibe. I've been really wanting, yeah, but yeah, that's the name. But in terms of goals, also, I've really been. I think I'm gonna post on my story soon and be like, I'm looking for a band because I feel
Say.
like I've always wanted to make that sort of music. I feel like that just translates. I feel like I'm not really like
Yeah.
aligning as much with the keyboard, or not the keyboard, but like the producing as much as I used to.
Hmm.
Because I'm hearing something that can only be done, and I like don't want my stuff to be so syncopated. So I
Yeah.
want to like look for a band, and not in the way I'm not against starting a band with other people that like
Have
has
you
its
ever
own
been in a band?
no,
Yeah.
like because I feel like I want the band, but I want it to be like Sade's band, like where I
Yeah,
want
exactly. Yeah,
it
yeah,
to be my band. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
and not in like a conceited way. It's just like I want to compose and stuff. Obviously, they will
To
help.
serve you. No, I feel
You know
that.
what I mean? It's my view, and it's just I
Yeah,
play with the band. You know what I mean?
for sure.
But yeah, and something else I'm looking forward to is I wanted to plan it myself, but I look want to do like a mini tour
Hmm.
um this year, maybe next year, just like my own plan, like you know what I mean, just DIY tour.
Yeah.
And also, if not my own DIY tour, I would love to put my project out and hopefully garner the trust to open for someone on their tour. That's like one of my biggest goals for the next
Yeah.
year. I'm like, I would love to open for someone. Like that would change me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have like a manager at all? Like, do you have people who like send stuff on your behalf,
Well,
or
I've
do you
had a
still wait
few
for that?
meetings with certain people, but like I feel like it wasn't. I feel like I need to be better with like understanding like what a manager does, or at least I
Yeah.
guess maybe the people I was meeting were not the best match. I don't
Yeah.
really know. I've met with a few people, but I have a few people in general. Like I have one friend. I really love her. Her name is Sarah, and she's like one of the main people that shops my stuff around.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. I
yeah,
feel
she
like
sent it
friend at this point in your career, like having a friend do that is like sort of the
right. Like she sends
best
it
way
to
to
like
go about
amazing
it.
people. I've gotten some amazing like meetings with people and musicians because of
Yeah.
her. Um, and she also did one of my music videos, the Elysian music video.
Oh,
She's
sick.
really talented. Yeah. But yeah, her. Yeah, and just other people, and then also, um, yeah, just certain people that send things out for me. Also, Theo from Scenic Route has helped me a few times with that.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
yeah, but no
Wow.
manager.
A manager. Okay, bet. She's doing it all on her own.
I need
You
one though.
gotta well, I won't take too much of your time. This has been so lovely talking to you.
Thank you. This has
Yeah,
been
for
lovely,
sure.
literally. I
Yeah,
like
this
the
has been
setup
really
and
sweet.
vibe of it.
Thank you, thank you. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, this has been really informative, and it's not always nice, just as a music fan, to get behind the SoundCloud page of an artist. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
just always fun to see that on the other side. And no, this has been really fun. It's been really fun to talk to you.
Yes,
And thanks
thank
for talking
you.
with
And thank
us.
you for finding me on SoundCloud. I didn't even know. Like, I love my SoundCloud, and I'll always press people need to listen to my SoundCloud more. Like, that's
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah. No, it's no, your SoundCloud's great. I love your
Thank
SoundCloud, and it's like
you.
not
Thank
hard to
you.
find.
Oh yeah, it's not hard to find it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard to find at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you go. This has been great. And
Thank you.
yeah.
Have a wonderful evening or night,
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
too. Yeah.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Bye.
have a great night.
Good night. Bye.